It's that time of the year again. It is Amazon Prime Day on July 16th and 17th. There will be so many great sales available on large ticket items and even on smaller ticket items. But what I like to share are all the card making supplies and organizing supplies that you can add into your order when you're checking out your Amazon Prime Day sales. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and in today's video, I'll be sharing my top 10 card making supplies and organizing supplies for crafting that you can get on Amazon. And the perfect time to add them to your order is during Prime Day. Some of these supplies I've mentioned before, and the reason I'm mentioning them again is either that I've used them every single day since I purchased them, or I'm actually reordering them because I love them so much. So let's dive right in and check out my top 10 list of card making and organizing supplies at Amazon. First up, I love to get organized, and in order to do that, I love to use a label maker. This is the original Brother P-Touch label maker that I have had for years and years and years. It is still working. I could still use it, but I wanted an upgrade. So I got the P-Touch Cube Plus. First of all, you can see the footprint is much smaller, so that's really nice. I can even keep it out on my desk. Comes with a cord and some little manuals, as well as a few sample tapes, and they come in the extra wide sample tapes. The great thing is if you have leftover tapes from a previous Brother P-Touch, you can use those as well. And I'll link to some off-brand labels that I have used pretty successfully. I had one dud, but lots that worked really well. There's an app that goes along with this, and it is Bluetooth. That is another thing I absolutely love about this. So you can type out your company that the stamp and die comes from, and then on the second line, you can do the name of the product, and you have lots of options. You can design the label in a lot of different ways. I like to keep it pretty simple. And once you are ready, you need to make sure you are connected to Bluetooth. So I had to go in there and connect to my Bluetooth, find it, and then I was able to print it out. Now, what's great about this label maker is you can do the chain print just like you can do on the original Brother to save some label in between, and you can also have it cut it itself. I love that feature. I think it is brilliant, and I didn't really waste any label there on this one, so label tape. So I really love this. I'm gonna just erase the second line and then add in a new line and print out another one and then have that cut as well. So this is very handy. It's gonna take my time of organizing down quite a bit because I don't have to cut them individually by myself, and it's just easier to type on my phone and things like that. The other thing you can do with this is you can save a label. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save all the manufacturer's names in a label, and then I'll be able to just add that second line in when I get a new product. So here I'll show you, you can go back to the beginning of the app or the entryway of the app and then press that little file at the bottom, and there will be all of your saved labels. I think that is so handy and so easy to use. I absolutely love this new label maker. So the stamp and die pockets that I use are still the Avery Elle stamp and die pockets. I use the large and the extra large. The large is the one that holds a 4x6 stamp set very easily, and then the dies I put in the back side. And the large holds a lot. So first of all, it holds a 6x8 stamp set. With Altenew, I often get a bundle that includes, say, a stamp set, a stencil, dies, and even an embossing folder. And those things are thick, so they really hold all those things quite well. Here's one of the large that holds the 4x6 stamp set and the dies and the back of that. So you could always put little die cuts back there as well. Now that we have all our stamp and die pockets labeled, we need some place to store them. So this is the Bino plastic storage bins. I found these new storage bins because I really like that they hold a variety of different stamp and die pockets in them. So for all of my smaller stamps and dies that I keep separate, I like to keep them in smaller bins. But for these elements that have 6x8 stamp sets and stencils and embossing folders, and then they have regular stamp sets, I wanted a larger bin. But the really great part about this, as opposed to the old bins that I was using, is that it is way longer. So I can fit this bin, and this is what I was using for my large stamps and dies, inside the Bino bin. And it's not too big where everything's just kind of fluttering around inside. It's just that it's much longer. It's like 14 inches long, which you can see compared to the old one is quite a bit longer, and I'm able to fit more in that bin, which means less bins, which is really nice because sometimes you're like, I can't even fit all these bins in my house. So I really like these new bins that I found. They come in a 2-pack as well. So I'm able to really store quite a bit in them, and they still fit lengthwise inside my IKEA Kallax unit. So you can see here, it's not hanging over the edge at all. It still has the grip on the front so you can pull it out, but it fits perfectly inside the Kallax unit and it does not hang out. Next up, I needed some gold foil, and I went on Amazon and I found Thermoweb Deco Foil hot foils. This is for hot foil plates. I was super excited to be able to find this on Amazon because I needed it right away. So this is my favorite gold foil. I use it all the time. And next is where to store all those foils. So this is the Storai multi-platform nail polish holder, but it actually holds so much more. It holds foils, it holds little ink refills. These are a standard size of bottles for ink refills, so pretty much anything that you have will probably fit in here. I also fit alcohol inks in here because those are a similar size to these. You can fit so many in a line, it is crazy. I also store some of my distress products in here. Now you can see that the distress sprays are a little bit smaller than the other bottles that I have. So they're a little wobbly in there, but the paints fit perfectly. And so do the distress oxide sprays. They're a little tight, but they actually really fit perfectly as well. And you can see that I fit these all on my Kallax unit, and I have in my Kallax cubes, some of the cubes divided in half, and I use the IKEA dividers for that. And that allows me to have more of these nail polish storage units that I can then store all my ink refills, all my Tonic Studios drops, all of my distress sprays, all my mica sprays, all of that is saved in there. Next up is the Beadsmith Scoopies. Now, generally when I'm using different types of embellishments that come in a little baggie or in a little container, I pour them out. And invariably, I pour out too many and they get all over the place. So this is a way to scoop up just a small amount at first and then add more. It's also a way to clean them up. I don't know if you've ever seen a crummer. It's that device that you can use to clean a tablecloth, a cloth tablecloth, and it's shaped just like this. So you can use this little tiny crummer or Scoopies to scoop up sequins and place them on your project. So here I have a Catherine Pooler Designs small jar of sequins. Normally I would just tip it sideways and pour a bunch out, and I would get so many at first that sometimes I'd have to put some back. Here with this Scoopies, I can just grab a small scoop at a time and see what it looks like on my cardstock, and then decide if I want to add more or not to, say, a shaker card. Next up is my favorite white gel pen. I have a whole video about this. It's still my favorite white gel pen. I bought this one last year in April and it's still working fine. So I can't recommend the Pentel Milky Pop white gel pen enough. I bought myself a Wow embossing pen recently and wanted to try it out, and I am very happy with it. It is very juicy, so it comes out very smoothly, so drawing is very easy with it. I could definitely, if I was a letterer, you could do lettering with your embossing powders, but I'm not. So I just drew some hearts, and now I'm using some Wow Puff White embossing powder and their heat tool to heat set these little hearts. And I think they came out great. So there is a lot of uses for this. Next up are the 30-pack clear document folders that I use to hold my cardstock. Now, a lot of people freak out when they see this package arrive because they're like, it's so flat, there's no way that this can hold 25 sheets of cardstock. Trust me, it can. So I'm going to show you exactly. You come 30 to a pack with these. They're pretty affordable. This one is the Spellbinders Treasured Cardstock. It's very thick. It's only 15 sheets per pack, but you'll see it's very thick cardstock. So I'm going to place that inside one first so you can see exactly how nice it slides in. I like to have the opening on the right hand side so that I can just grab the cardstock out of my calyx unit once I have this pocket placed inside. So the bottom just kind of folds. It's really okay. It's gonna hold it. This is 25 pieces of cardstock, and the bottom just kind of like stretches out. It doesn't stretch, but it just, the little line actually kind of adjusts to how much cardstock is in there. Now, you can't hold 50 sheets. You can't hold 100 sheets, obviously, but you can easily hold 25 sheets of cardstock. And this way, when I put it in my calyx unit, you can see all of the colors because the opening is on the side that's facing you, and you can easily grab out just a sheet of cardstock from whichever color you choose. So these are my favorite ways to organize cardstock. I just bought a new pack of these because I have all these new Spellbinders cardstocks that I am trying to organize. So definitely recommend them. And one thing that I have been using since I purchased it is this glassboard glass mat. Now, they're out of the size I have, but I actually linked to a slightly larger size that I wish I had bought, and I linked to a smaller size if you have a smaller desk or space to work in. You can get ink on this thing, you can get glitter paste on this thing. If you get it before it dries, you can use water and a paper towel or a rag. If it dries, I've used antibacterial on it, and it has come off really easily. Don't forget, these supplies are not just available during the Prime Day sales, they're available all year round. I have a few other Amazon videos where I share other supplies that I love for card making and crafting, so I'm going to link to those here. If you're looking for links to shop these supplies, they will be down in the YouTube description box below the video. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Let's do it one more time. One more time. One more time. No. No. A bunch of... Nope. Don't forget these... I really feel like I'm missing something.